Then on the 20th, we have Drea Mitchell. On the 21st, Alex Mays. On the 26th, Finn Corso. On the 27th, Andrew Cass. 28th, Johnny Pierce. September 3rd, Emilian Lewis. The 4th, Corvus. And on the 11th, Nico Klein. So, all of our interviews for August coming up, and even a little bit of September as well. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Scooter?
I'd say so, but I don't think there's anything that's putting ourselves over too much.
Correct. Um, that being said, we are wrestling with the news, and it is not a great day for wrestling as we lost a legend of this business. The one Kevin Sullivan has unfortunately passed, I believe, as of yesterday.
Yes, as of yesterday, the age of 74. And God, that you know, we we mentioned him being having health issues. It was either last week or 2 weeks ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago, definitely.
Yeah, and to just see it now is God. It's surreal. It's I mean, especially when you consider, yeah, Kevin Sullivan, probably one of the most unsung heroes in professional wrestling when it comes to behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. He was booker for WCW back in, I want to say, 2001. 2001. Went on to work for TNA, WWE. And he actually, I think he wrote a couple of books as well. For WWE specifically.
He did film. Uh, he's on a lot of the A&E discussions, uh, the Legend series, the biography series. Um, usually when it comes to talent that came out of the Gulf Coast or Florida, Southeast, uh, that was that was Sullivan's territory, uh, and the, the man's record is nothing to sneeze at, because when you take into account how how tall Kevin Sullivan actually was, he wasn't tall. He was not a tall man. In fact, I believe he only had a couple of inches on me.
He was
Oddly enough, I have a Kevin Sullivan story that's not really that exciting, but I ran into him at the Museum of Natural History in Manhattan. That's the end of that story.
he was billed as 5'9".
Yeah, and yeah, that's not terribly big for a pro wrestler,
Yeah.
especially in the late in the 70s, early 80s.
That's correct. That would be right. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so Kevin Sullivan is the perfect example, I would say, of someone who knows how to use booking power and not let it go to his head.
Well, he did it for a very long time at a high level.
Yeah, and the biggest and really the biggest issue of his entire career was something associated by a proxy.
Mm, give or take.
I mean,
Kaliko?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll say it. Benoit.
Yeah. But don't
But
necessarily have to go into that.
yeah.
Kaliko, your thoughts on the passing of Kevin Sullivan?
I mean, shoot, Scooter said it the most. I think he's unsung, probably one of the most unsung guys, right? To me, I got to see him from Georgia Championship Wrestling and NWA, and then he had a couple stints in USWA, Jerry Lawler and them. So to me, that's where I got my introduction, and that was when he was kind of doing more of the cult leader type of gimmick. You can make the argument he was kind of like Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt in a sense.
Yeah.
What? Well, I mean, considering that he used to run with Mike Rotundo in the Varsity Club.
Oh yeah. So I mean, and it was crazy because I was just in freaking Cleveland, and we were just when you go to these WrestleCons, and I tell people like, man, just take advantage and talk with these people, man, because these people will give you stories for days about like the intricacies of like the business and even like what happened in your childhood, man. And it just sucks. I never got the chance to meet him at one of these, at like a WrestleCon. I wish I did. And I remember we were talking about his health, and I was hoping that he pulled through, but it just kind of sucks. I mean, at least he lived a life, so at least I could. It sucks that he's gone and no longer with us, but he put his all into pro wrestling, man. So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, condolences to the family, and he got his quarter's worth on this earth, like I tell people.
I mean, yes, he lived till 75, which is, kind of, for that generation of pro wrestlers, is kind of unheard of, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, especially given everything that went on, and again, I stick by my statement. Sullivan was probably one of the worst squeaky clean guys.
Really?
Because Sullivan wasn't out, doing bumps of coke and spending time with strippers and hookers and looking strippers and Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan was a man absolutely devoted to his craft, to this business, but he also had an evolving understanding of where it was going. And I think the greatest example of this is why did we never see a one-on-one match between him and Hogan? Because Sullivan knew it would probably be terrible.
Well, I mean, that never stopped Hulk Hogan from entering
And
the ring before.
considering that it was in the really the last years of Sullivan's really active years, I always wondered, and that may or may not come up in a future discussion about dream matches, but the yeah, my God, this his CV, his list of accomplishments is it's insane. It's unprecedented,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll run off some of these just really quickly. some of the ones that stand out. NWA Florida Tag Team Championship 4 times. 3 with Mike Graham, 1 with Haystacks Calhoun.
Oh wow.
And Haystacks Calhoun was a big motherfucker, man. And of course, Kaliko mentioned, Georgia, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, Georgia Tag Team Championship with Tony Atlas, all over the Gulf Coast as well. Ken Lucas is a constant in there as well. In 2 Hall of Fames, not included in WWE Hall of Fame. NWA Hall of Fame in 2015, New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2013, which I kind of find very interesting, considering New England wasn't exactly
His territory.
Numerous PWI accolades as well. Former WCW Tag Team Champion with Cactus Jack. Former ECW Tag Team Champion with Taz.
Yeah.
Also, one of the team men to hold the other tag team titles, technically in WCW and WWE, the United States Tag Team titles, with Dr. Death, Steve Williams, so much. And keep in mind, this is all outside of the WWE. Yeah, Sullivan did have about 2 runs when in the WWF. I don't want to say he didn't get over, but he was still finding his footing. As he would transition into the late 70s,
Right.
early 80s, to see the bulk of his success.
We could honestly do a whole episode
Yes,
when it comes
we really
to
could.
the legacy of Kevin Sullivan. But we will maybe keep it at
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers to the friends and family of Kevin Sullivan. Alright. Going into news of pro wrestling. It is almost but all confirmed that the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, will be WWE bound sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Penn hasn't gone to paper quite yet, but they did give their notice to AEW.
Another name you can add to that list
Ricky Starks?
as well. Yep.
Yeah. I kind of
Yep, you might as well just go and throw it all in lump sum.
Well, I kind of figured that after he wasn't factored into plans for All In. So, yeah. We'll get to Ricky Starks in a moment. What do you think? What kind of damage could the Lucha Bros do in WWE, Scooter?
That is kind of a double-edged sword, because the Lucha Bros.
You're staticky, Scooter.
Oh, nah. It's funny, you guys don't have staticky at all.
I mean, it's.
That,
Oh, there you go. Oh no.
There you go. Okay. What?
Yeah, you're really statically. Like I can barely hear you.
Test.
Better.
Okay. How about now?
Yes. 100%.
Okay. All right. Crappy. Yeah, they didn't. They're not a WWE creation. So, yeah. WWE doesn't have the greatest track record with non, you know, luchador talent that did come up in the company themselves. You know, Ray being the exception. Uh, it would be interesting to see if that built-in fanhood transfers over as well, because they had a catchy intro. I also want to know if this includes Alex Abrahantes.
Probably not.
I mean, given how short commentary teams are these days, I wouldn't be surprised if Abrahantes you finds a seat at the Spanish announce table.
Quite possible.
He clearly wouldn't be going into the Phoenix would not be going in with the name Ray. Clearly. Could a faction? Should they even be part of the faction?
That's what I was gonna mention when I got to my thoughts on the Lucha Bros, but
Right. Well, you know what? I think that's a perfect transition.
Like you said, it's a double-edged sword. They could do great shit with Lucha Bros. I could even see, one-on-one Penta Cody, Penta Roman, Penta Owens, Penta Orton. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and they'd all be dream matches. Penta is one of those great, singles wrestlers that doesn't necessarily get put on that pedestal. And, Ray can be, pretty good himself. But if they're just going to add them to the telenovela portion of WWE programming, just lump them with the other Mexican talent, what is it called? Not
Super Juniors? Legado del Fantasma?
Yes. And what they're doing with Andrade, then then why even bring them at that point? Like, there's so many good possibilities, but if that's what you're going to do with them, then why even bring them? That's my opinion on it. But I kind of feel like they're going to immediately put them against Phantasma.
I'm kind of thinking maybe Impact, maybe TNA is actually the best place for them.
Well, from what I heard, they're going to the main roster. They're not going down to NXT.
Oh God, I don't know if I'd want to believe that.
It's a part of the negotiations, but we've been talking a lot. Kaliko, what's your thoughts on Lucha Bros coming to WWE?
I just hope they don't throw them in the typical Spanish LWO Legado del Fantasma. Honestly, since they split the belts, the tag team needs depth. So it would be good for them to have a thing on their own as a tag team. Personally, either brand is desperate for it. Judgment Day, Raw maybe not so much because of the Judgment Day storyline, but SmackDown for sure would like to have it. Even though they have the Bloodline with it, but you could see Lucha Bros and the Profits. You could see
Lucha Bros DIY.
Yeah, exactly. So you got some teams there where they can tear the house down, trying to build themselves as a number one contender.
So do you think that they're actually going to do that, or are they just going to add them, like I said, to the telenovela portion of the programming?
You mean the Univision version portion?
Yes.
The Telemundo?
BET and Espanol.
I mean, honestly, it would make sense for them to do their own thing because you don't want it. It's not like what's the hell is it's not like Angel Garza and Old Buddy. You know, they kind of needed Legado del Fantasma. I don't think they need it. I don't think they need the Univision portion.
Well, let us not forget that, at one point, Tongaloa was, part of the Latino World Warrior because he was Hunico.
No, Hamacho.
Camacho, that's it. You see, that's how terrible it is. I can't tell them apart. Keep in mind the last time the WWE had a stable with the term lucha in its title.
Was a house party.
Lucha house party. Mucha lucha.
And
It's a brand new town.
The parents came home early, and that party was ruined.
It wasn't exactly Project X.
Or that matter, it wasn't Project A through W either.
Don't you remember the movie? Wasn't it called Project X?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, about that stupid rave found foot.
Weirdly enough, that didn't take place too far from where I actually live in real life.
Well, hopefully it gets taken out in a wildfire. There's so much potential, but I mean, Penta, I could see succeeding on his own. I see Ray Phoenix. I see Phoenix taking a couple of years to get over, and I don't think that would work to his benefit. And I really don't want him working those stupid 3-minute speed matches.
Oh, I think that's actually perfect for him. Honestly, I think people will, when they first see them, they'll say, "Hey, Kalisto's back."
Or for Angelico.
Yeah, one of those.
Ooh, I could go for a nice glass of Angelico.
Well, let's move to Ricky Starks. It seems like it's all but confirmed that, he's leaving AEW, which is honestly, make across the god type of situation. I think he'd do well in WWE. I feel if you put him on SmackDown, put him against Carmelo Hayes, I think that the promos would be phenomenal. The match would be exceptional, and you build two wrestlers at the same time, kind of like Triple H and The Rock did in '98. But that's just my opinion. Do you think Ricky Starks will go to the main roster right away, or do you think he'd make a stint on NXT first?
Well, he definitely be going to NXT first. Because after his AEW push really fizzled out, and he was in the midst of being pushed around the time he won the Owen Hart tournament.
Did he win the Owen Hart tournament?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. That was before they
and
gave him the title shots as the winners.
And they, for some reason, they felt like pulling the gun so early with him and MJF, and you already had MJF making comparisons between Starks and The Rock. So, what people will want to see is a promo battle between The Rock and Starks. I will laugh when it turns out they're actually talking about Billy Starks instead.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, we love our Space Jesus here on Wrestling With.
Space Yahweh.
Hey,
Space.
man, never lost.
Yahweh!
What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, I think he got lost in the shuffle at AEW, and there's only so many people he can go on top. I think if Ethan Page was going to NXT, he's more than likely going to NXT. I I think he has the chops to get there, and he has the skills to get there. It's just, a little fine tuning here and there. It helps Cody's going to have his back when he's there.
Right.
So it's not like he's going in blind. So I think he has someone that's already has his back in there. So it's a little bit, the road will be a little bit easier. Not saying that it's going to be super easy because it's going to be challenging. But I think a person like Cody could go to NXT and give him a match.
But the question is are they gonna do something along the lines where it looks like Ricky's is riding Cody's coattails, and then they do what they always do in this situation and make the person riding the coattails the super heel to prove that they that they don't need them. Uh, uh, you know, I kind of want to see a Punk Starks rematch.
I don't think they actually wrestled, did they?
Yes, they did. The Owen Hart tournament.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I really need to catch up on my AEW. Or not.
Yeah, you've been shitting them so long, you don't even know what's going on. Get it together.
Very true. But, this is a major fumble on AEW's part to not realize what they have in front of them. Yeah, you're doing good stuff with MJF. Yes, you made MJF, one of the top faces, well, one of the top people in your company. But, that top guy needs guys to actually wrestle. And Ricky Starks could have been, in. I mean, honestly, right now, he could have been a megastar for them. He could have actually drew money for AEW. And they just.
Like, they shoehorned him into another stable.
Right. It's just. Why are you. This guy is clearly a superstar. And he's proven time and time again that he could make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And you're not giving him anything to work with, and now you're just leaving him at home.
And I mean, that's got to be a big morale blow for AEW to let somebody like Ricky Starks go.
Well, I mean, look at Eden Page. I mean, he was. When was the last time he did anything interesting on AEW TV?
Well, I mean, see, this is why I will always consider Ethan Page a TNA guy first. And with everything going on in TNA with Josh Alexander, I'm betting we're getting a North reunion. There's a method to this madness.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, Ethan Page, they gave him the ball and he ran with it. they never even gave him an opportunity to play in AEW. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he won the didn't he? Yeah, he won that hemorrhoid ring.
Wasn't that Scorpio?
Was it Scorpio?
It was Scorpio, I think. I'm pretty sure he won the ring.
Oh, that that Sonic the Hedgehog ring,
Yeah,
or the thing you sit on, so your car doesn't aggravate your hemorrhoids.
correct. Well, WWE might be getting three incredible new talent, but AEW might be getting one in return. Maybe more than one. It's pretty much confirmed that Bobby Lashley is making a return to pro wrestling. To what company that remains to be unseen, but it's heavily suggested that it is AEW. I think this is a complete miss and backfire on Bobby. But you know, when it's literally a 50-50 shot, I mean, yeah.
You're basically, and I hate to say this, you could probably interchange Lashley and Hobbs, you know, interchangeably without anyone really noticing.
I mean, you would have to put Bobby Lashley would have to put a wig on.
I mean,
Hobbs has that Chima hair. Is it called
I mean,
Chima?
when you look at Powerhouse Hobbs, you clearly think of Bobby Lashley. He's their Lashley, essentially.
I wouldn't put it that. I wouldn't be that direct about it.
Now, or okay, maybe Hobbs is AEW's Moose. Who knows?
With a side of Carmel?
If Lashley went back to TNA,
Oh God! But how does that cancels out him leaving?
I mean,
You're literally demoting yourself from main roster.
I mean, Ziggler left, and now he can hope he'll have a WWE job again.
I know, right? Like, I mean, in Ziggler, at least, TNA champ. Yeah.
And I mean, at least now, we can hope for, the Quebecers going into the Hall of Fame.
I guess.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't want to see PCO take on somebody at least once before he finally hangs it up.
I would definitely like to see PCO versus Kevin Nash one more time.
Oh God.
You not know that story?
No, I want to see PCO versus Jean-Pierre Lafitte.
Oh God, no.
Oh, you know what? PCO versus the Mountie.
Kaliko, your thoughts on
Oh gosh, that's like Hannah Montana versus Miley Cyrus.
And Hannah Montana would win every time. Kaliko, your thoughts on Bobby Lashley potentially going to AEW?
My biggest fear is, the AEW formula. I mean, that's worse than the Sonata Slaughter. You pop in, you get a title shot, you get pushed to the moon, then you fall back into oblivion, and then you'll figure out what the hell you're doing for the last 3 years. They'll put you in a bunch of tournaments that you ain't gonna win. They ain't gonna put over your group. Then you fucking exhausted, and now you wishing, damn, I should have just went back to WWE. I feel like there's a cycle there.
They'll put you Wait, you forgot to include the mandatory feud with Hangman Page.
Yep, mandatory feud with Hangman Page and or
Chris Jericho.
insert just Jericho exactly.
Man, and you say that I shit on AEW.
Well, I mean, it's just that's the pattern that they've been doing with the WWE guys. Because they name the last WWE person that just went over there and got over as themselves. Toni Storm had to literally change who the fuck she was just to get over.
Edge.
And Edge, I mean Adam Copeland.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
He kept us edgy.
And when I say get over, win the AEW title, because anything less for him would be a disservice.
Why
anything
less
would be
championship?
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Yes.
For WWE, I do see that it is maybe a legit loss. Obviously, Bobby Lashley was a big superstar for them. And I do see that, I kind of do think that they dropped the ball after the whole Omos, rivalry.
They would also apparently be getting MVP as well.
Yes, by default. Buy one, get one. But then again, the WWE does have that guy in NXT, Saba Odi Acapelico, so
Obafemi.
That's what I said. So yeah, I mean, in short, massive guy that looks like that has strength like Brock Lesnar, right there,
and
could be bigger than Bobby Lashley.
And plus, they brought back Odyssey Jones. Cue the Who from James.
Who?
Exactly.
That's the guy that had the tent and awning ring gear.
No, that was Quincy Elliott.
Okay, then it's definitely a Who situation.
Yeah. People have a hard time telling the difference between Odyssey Jones, who is a strong brutish guy, and and Quincy Elliott, who was the guy who skipped around the ring. Yes, we'd fit in with Pretty Deadly.
What is it? Yes, boy.
Yes, boy.
Alright, now, people going other places. Seth Rollins, if you saw on, Raw, got taken out by, I'm blanking on his name. Oh, Bronson Reed.
Bam Bam Bronson.
Bam Bam Bronson. He took, 5 or 6 typhoons.
8 tsunamis.
Yeah. 7 tsunamis, sir.
And 10 earthquakes. A couple of Santa Ana winds.
4 hurricanes. 3 human tornadoes and a partridge in a pear tree.
Fair enough.
I think this kind of just reaffirms what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, that maybe Seth Rollins wasn't necessarily ready to come back to pro wrestling. He was still pretty banged up, physically. So they wrote him into the storyline, and now they found a way to write him out. And when he does come back, he has a built-in storyline against Bronson Reed.
But it's to delay the inevitable Punk feud.
Yeah,
right.
Rollins is clear, but given that Becky is taking time off, he kind of wants that time off too, and he probably should take the time off, because I have no doubt that Seth is watching what Mox went through, and I would guarantee Rollins was on the phone every night, like, dude, take a break.
Also, did we not just notice that Seth Rollins came to the ring dressed as Hangman Page? The pettiness, boy. The same garments and everything. I'm like, bro. Pettiest of the petty.
My pettiness knows no bounds. It was me, though.
I mean, when he said he didn't like CM Punk, he took it seriously. It's like, I'm gonna dress like the motherfucker you hate. That's how much I hate your ass.
No, if only Seth knew how to dress like Kenny Omega.
If he actually knew how to dress like an actual adult.
I mean, that's what happens when you dress in the dark in Liberace's closet.
Correct.
Ooh, interview segment. Liberace's closet with Seth Rollins.
You know, the sad part of that is I don't hate the idea.
Seth Rollins mentoring Pretty Deadly.
Oh, God. Okay, take my fucking money.
See, you give a Pretty Deadly gimmick to Seth, and he'll fucking run with it.
I kind of feel like Seth already has a pretty deadly.
Yeah. I mean, yes, he's the eccentric guy who, okay, let's face it, in all those garish outfits we've seen him in over the past number of months.
And somewhat slutty as well.
Don't tell me that at something in there was at least one thought in the back of your mind that maybe he wasn't exactly strictly hetero.
I mean, if I didn't already know that he was married to Becky Lynch, I would probably say...
They're not married.
No, they're married. Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
No, they're 100. That is confirmed.
They Rue. They didn't get married.
No, I think they eloped on the beach or something. There was definitely a wedding. But yeah, like I was saying, Seth Rollins on. If you saw Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in the main event with Cody, you didn't look at that guy and said, well, he's going to be back in 2 months at 100%. I haven't seen anybody look that much in pain in a pro wrestling ring in a really long time. So maybe he's healthy, maybe he's cleared to wrestle. Just because you're cleared to wrestle doesn't mean you should actually wrestle. And maybe it's time, like you said, learn from Mox, take a break from the ring. Alright. Let's get into from taking some time off to maybe making a comeback. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi maybe possibly making a return together as the Golden Lovers once again.
Forecast calls for golden showers.
Correct. That was also something Seth Rollins was hit by. But it's not going to be anytime soon from what I've heard. It is going to be later in the year, possibly November, December. Kaliko, your thoughts on Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi making a return to the ring?
I mean, golden showers, no R. Kelly, but
well, change horses midstream.
I know, right? I mean, it's a miracle that he's even still living because diverticulitis ain't no joke. So I mean, trust me, I know.
So do we.
I mean, that's the same thing Brock had, and Brock took it like a champ. So.
I mean,
Brock is like an alien.
Right. Like,
No,
I mean,
that's his daughter.
You can't necessarily compare Brock
I'm
Lesnar
done. I'm done.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar has the only daughter ever conceived via anal probe.
Will you stop it?
Never.
I mean, Kenny Omega thinks he's. Yeah, that is a clone. I ain't gonna lie. But anyways,
the ugly tree and in every branch on the way down.
I mean, she fell off the.
No, I stick by what I said.
Damn, that's fucked up.
I'm calling Wang.
He's like, yeah, that's a wedding he don't have to pay for anytime soon. But
okay, let's get off the looks of Brock Lesnar. This is an E! True Stories.
Hey, he started it.
I'm just police here.
He started it. I'm just here so I'll get fined.
What
Anyways,
outside my window.
I know, right? But back to the topic at hand. It's great to see if he can make the comeback. First things first is health, so that's the main thing. And I'm glad that I mean, I got to see him, and I hope he gives us a couple more years, before he calls it a wrap. Now, it would be interesting if he comes back. How is it going to work with the whole elite thing? Because
they beat him up.
They fired him. So
right.
He coming back without a job, homie.
After if Kenny's injuries were as serious as they were, and Kenny decided to do what they did, a number of months ago anyway with that attack, then I'm sorry, but Kenny's a fucking moron. Which is why I don't think his injuries are as bad as we're being led to believe. I believe he needed time to recover. I don't think it was severe as it was, as indicated. And yeah, that attack was a test essentially to lay the seeds in what, because they're not going to have Kenny and Jericho against the Bucks, and you're not going to put Hangman with Kenny to get revenge on the Bucks. Who are you going to put Kenny with to blow off that feud? Hologram?
I mean, Tony seems to be high on him right now.
Tony's high on a lot of things, mostly cocaine.
What I'm kind of wondering is, how long does Kenny Omega stay with AEW after this one? Obviously he's going to be coming back there. He's gonna, get his feet wet once again, with the company, wrestle. I don't know what his contract has in it. But I do feel like he doesn't necessarily want to be there anymore. That's just my take on things. So, do you see this maybe being the last year of Kenny Omega and AEW, or do you think that he's maybe going to remain his career in AEW?
Oh my god, and I just thought of the perfect way to debut him too.
Mm-hmm.
we're we're being so it's recently made official, and we'll get into this a little bit later. It will be Kevin Owens and Cody in Berlin.
Yeah.
So I imagine Kenny Omega's if he were to for one go with the E, there would be some sort of misdirection with initials. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna be facing KO. We didn't say Kevin Owens though. Carry on our wayward son. Stupidest fucking theme song ever.
Oh yes.
Kansas should not be a theme song.
Kansas shouldn't be a state. Let's just be honest.
This is Kansas. This is not our Kansas. America, explain.
I mean, Kansas City is the home of the defending Super Bowl champions back to back. I mean, they only got the best quarterback in the world right now.
Yeah,
That nobody
Kansas
cares
City.
about. The only reason they care about him is because of who he's dating.
Yeah,
Who? Patrick Mahomes?
I thought it was Kelsey.
Yeah, he's not a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback.
Mahomes is the QB, dude.
Mahomes is the QB. Kelsey's the tight end.
Dude,
Pause.
I don't watch
No,
football.
T Swift is the tight end.
That is the correct answer.
Wait a minute. T Swift has no end.
I mean,
she has a pretty good answer.
Okay, so now, all right, we've gone from golden showers to talking about T Swift's asshole. All right, that's a show. That's in the books.
Kaliko,
Charlotte has more ass than Taylor Swift.
Kaliko, Kenny Omega on WWE TV. Do you see it happening? Yes or no?
Who?
Kenny
Who
Omega.
again? Kitty? Oh no, that ship sailed.
Kenny Omicron.
That ship has sailed. He's not doing it. And in his mind, I can see him being the person where he doesn't need it to justify his contribution.
See him being a GM.
He is forever a legend in New Japan, and so he has, in his mind, that's good enough.
Okay,
Yes,
and we'll leave it at that.
He's got a legend for having the softest mouth. Just ask Okada. Ibushi. Shibata. Does not compute.
Cody did an interview recently stating that he'd like a WWE PLE to be in Italy. What are your thoughts on WWE doing a PLE in Italy? It does seem like it's not out of the realm of possibilities at this point. Something close to the Roman Colosseum would actually
that's I mean, if the Colosseum wasn't one of the wonders of the world, I mean, clearly they would put it there. The Clash of the Colosseum. You have Roman at the Colosseum.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then that's when you bring back Luther Reigns.
Well, I mean, obviously it would be, if you can't do Clash at the Colosseum, obviously violence at the Vatican, right?
Yes, violence in Vatican City!
Violence in Vatican City. I'm done. That is a good one. Violence in Vatican. The Vatican violence.
The Swiss Guard Showdown.
And then they
Manja Mania!
And then they build a match between Vince McMahon and the Pope. And then the Pope comes out and he says, "Not me, dog." And then you say, "Hey, it's Elijah Burke."
Oh God! You
hear that funky music? The Pope and the Pope do a handshake, and you're off to the races.
You never go pope to pope.
I mean, two what's it called? Two popes. That's the show. And then you bring the kid from Two and a Half Men, Two and a Half Popes.
2.5 popes. God damn it.
I'm done. Rumble at the River City. I can see that in it.
Violence in Venice.
Oh my
The
god.
Sinking City Showdown. The winner is the last person not to be thrown in the canals of Venice. Carnage at the canal.
The winner gets the antibiotic vaccine that saves you from whatever you may have caught in that in the river.
Apparently, we turned this into a Tom Hanks, Robert Langdon movie now. You know what? I either want a Pope on a pole match or a Pope on a rope match.
Pope or the rope. I like that.
You know what? Damn it, that way no.
Oh, well.
Chaos at the College of Cardinals.
Chaos at the Cathedral.
There you go.
It is a Sistine Showdown. Sistine Slam.
Isn't the 16th chapel in Italy, right?
Oh my god, did you just say the 16th?
Isn't it the 16th chapel?
No, it's the Sistine.
Well, that's what I was kind of alluding to. 16 Chapels of Hell match.
The Catholic Clash.
No, see, no, you'd have to do the nine levels of hell match to fit in with Dante's
Inferno. Yeah. This is gonna be like the longest PLE ever.
and we'd only be one match in. It would be 1 week later. They're giving Canada a run for their money.
Yeah, Psycho Mike. So we're all in agreement. On Italy, a PLE wouldn't suck.
You know, important societal roles, more of them need to be decided by over-the-top rope battle royals.
Okay.
Screw the carnage at the conclave. Oh.
Yeah.
Renaissance Rumble.
Oh
okay.
yes.
I like that. Yes, I agree with this.
Everybody must compete as a former gimmick.
We'll have Triple H come out as Hunter Horse Helmsley. No, Terrorizing.
Rising.
Yes.
Yes.
So that means Undertaker's coming back as Mean Mark Calloway?
Or just Mean Mark.
Yes.
Or he's coming back as the Punisher.
Ooh, trouble at the Tower of Pisa.
That tower ain't gonna be leaning after we get done with it.
Well, keeping up with international PLEs, we would be all night if we continued.
I mean, I'm already looking it up. I'm like, Mount Vesuvius? That's a good one. We could come home with it.
Oh, come on. Bring back Friar Ferguson. No.
I mean, somebody has to get thrown off Rialto Bridge. All I'm saying.
You just looked that up.
Huh?
You just looked that up.
No?
Like Madness in Milan.
No.
The Milan Madness.
Now, Milan has Fashion Week. They don't need anything else.
That's its own bloodbath all on its own.
Yeah. Ooh, you have Gucci as sponsor. You know, Gucci as the ring mat sponsor.
Ooh, okay. I think that.
A hardcore House of Gucci brawl.
So WWE is considering making Raw on taping Raw.
Pantheon punishment. No,
That's Greece.
Oh,
you
God.
know what? I don't care. I don't give a shit. I just wanted to throw that in there.
WWE is considering taping Raw on Sundays in the wherever they're doing the international PLE.
Fuck off.
So they don't have to travel, make such a hustle of traveling to the next city for Raw.
They made their fucking bed. They got a lie in it.
Okay.
I mean, technically, it's Monday over there anyway. He'll be Monday over there anyway.
You know what? They fucking chose this. They didn't want to tape Raw anymore. In fact, the only thing they'll tape is SmackDown.
That's right.
Keep in mind, we haven't seen a taped, pay-per-view or PLE for the WWE since '92, for pro wrestling in general since '94.
That's right. Wasn't that no? That was in SummerSlam.
That 92 was SummerSlam.
Beware of Dog?
WCW's in what?
Beware of Dog.
No, '94 Collision in Korea.
Oh, so you're talking about WCW?
Yes, that's why I said for the WWE '92, for
Okay.
pro wrestling in general '94, where Antonio Inoki and Ric Flair.
Well, I mean, I get it. Where they're coming from, just tape Raw on Sunday, but I mean, they're going to be on Netflix in a couple of months. Why not just have a Sunday Night Raw?
Or Sunday Night Heat.
I mean, because their business research has told them that Saturday nights are a better night to market because their primary demographic watches more on Saturday nights than anything else as compared to Sunday.
Well, I
They
mean, they're
don't
going
wa-
back to Sunday soon, so.
I mean, they didn't.
They're
They
gonna
didn't-
have to with these two nights.
I mean, the whole point of Netflix is for it to be live.
Right.
And if
I mean, there's not that many taped Raws in general. If
there's maybe one out of the year, maybe even two, and they really only usually end half at the end of the year.
Right.
It's but they have to remember that this is as much of a risk for Netflix as it is for them.
Oh yeah. I mean, Netflix is just checking out, live programming.
Like they are banking on this, and I always thought that Netflix should purchase a channel on in every cable market and push their original programming that way, entice people to actually want to
But don't give them the last episode, so they have to buy it.
yeah, but see, now they're doing, at least Verizon is, you buy a year of Peacock, you get a year of Netflix for free.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's only $10 a month. But also,
The commercial-free one?
I don't think it's. I think one of them has ads.
Well, fuck them.
But now there's also a Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus bundle.
Yeah. It
Now
has been
that
for quite some time.
now all the companies are coming together to. No, I'm sorry. No. Not Netflix. Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I literally just saw a commercial for it today.
Hmm.
And for $16.99 a month, which is not terrible. Then again, if you have HBO, you get Max for free anyway. So,
Very true.
um,
So you're against
it's
WWE taping on Sundays and airing it on Mondays.
if there was a if they aired it live on Sundays and then showed it on Monday,
Like a replay.
yeah, I would have less of a problem because then there'd be at least a way for others to digest the content who really, you may argue that $6.99 a month is not a lot of money, but not when you're weighing it up against every other expense in life.
Correct.
So it's again, it's how do they make up for essentially the, I don't want to say 32 some odd years of just free, free TV rights, but 32 years of not really being behind a paywall. And let's face it, SmackDown moving to USA is great. The NXT moving to the CW is complete bullshit.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. But what about you, Kaliko? Your thoughts on Raw possibly being taped on Sunday for international PLEs? Well, after PLEs.
I mean, I kind of get it because the only reason I get it is because of that extreme jet lag, right?
Right.
Because usually when they're doing these PLEs, they're not just there for the one day; they're there for the week of.
Right.
To like get used to like time zone and get acclimated. So that's the only reason I would be for it, for the overall health of the people. Because it's a tough slate. Because even with the NFL, they play a game overseas, they spend that week, and when they even after the game, they get a bye week. So to me, it makes sense.
I'd say why they don't they think about it, they don't really have to have an actual like live show. They could do like something akin to a highlight reel of something, or or you do like a preview.
I'm 100% against that.
Like I not the whole show. Like I'm still of the mind that the whole Netflix deal is going to backfire.
Well, losing you again, Scooter. You're pretty staticky.
You're staticky, motherfucker.
Well, I heard that.
'Cause I was sitting up.
You mentioned that CW will be the home of NXT, and it was announced that the first two shows will be outside of the Performance Center. The first night will be in the Allstate Arena in Chicago, and will actually feature CM Punk because you can't do a show in Chicago without CM Punk. The next week will be in Missouri and will feature Randy Orton. I like that they're trying something here. I don't think that it's going to be a massive success. Kind of like when TNA tried to venture out of Universal Studios back in 2009, but
Yeah. Keep in mind, they've already tried the CW.
what do you mean?
They've already tried being on the CW. People don't remember it though.
Yeah, they were on Channel 5, right?
SmackDown. Well, for me, it's Channel 9.
For me, it was
No.
UPN.
Yeah, UPN. For me,
UPN.
now it's
Now it's CW.
Yeah. People forget that SmackDown started on UPN,
Right.
what became CW. And eventually, after a certain point, it went back. It went to USA, went back to the CW, went to Sci-Fi, went back to the CW again for a third time, and it. I mean, unless they've got something in the back pocket with TNA and NXT.
Okay. What are your thoughts about it, Kaliko?
I mean, I get it in the sense that they're trying to get NXT more eyeballs, and them putting it on a common channel that everyone can get would help that. I
mean, it's not about it being on CW. It's about them going outside of the Performance Center for the first time since the pandemic.
But they've been on tour. They've been on tour before.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing.
I mean, they didn't do TV shows, but they've done.
But they've done
live tours.
Yeah, they've done, and they've done. The Big Four accompanying shows. From the same arena and adjacent arena.
I can barely hear you, Scooter. You're not. You're really staticky.
I can hear you perfectly. The fault is with you. It's not with me.
I don't think that's the case. I mean, I hear Kaliko fine.
I hear you absolutely fine, and you just said I hear Kaliko just fine.
I mean, like I said, I can only hear there's like a staticky background, and it's kind of overtaking your voice. You can hear that, right?
Oh, look.
Kaliko?
Yeah, I can hear, but let me see if it's me.
It's
first I'll delete myself.
No. Kaliko.
What does the guy gotta do? Sweat.
Hello, Kaliko. Respond.
I died and came back.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, Scooter...
Yeah, you're fine. Kaliko's fine. There's no static coming through from you guys.
All I'm saying is when I can't when you're when it's staticky.
There it is.
Oh, there! I don't hear anything now. Scooter. Oh.
Mother. Bitch ass.
Now I just want to kick you out.
I kick you out first.
Well,
Who knows where I'll kick you?
what was we talking about? The NXT
anal.
being outside of the Performance Center touring. And like I was saying, yeah, they do shows outside of the Performance Center, but it's usually attached to a big WWE event as well. I mean, it's not like it's only NXT drawing that crowd. You know what I mean? Hello?
Yes. Yes, I know what you mean.
Okay. And then all left. Yeah. Scooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last bit of news this week, Braun Breaker calls out John Cena for an Intercontinental Championship match. I don't think that Breaker or Cena would necessarily be a bad match, but do you see John Cena getting an Intercontinental title run in his last year as a pro wrestler, Kaliko? Kaliko? Oh, I think we lost Kaliko.
What?
There you
I'm
go.
right here.
Okay, yes, he's here.
There we go. I was about to say I'm right here. No, he's not doing it. For what? It would be.
Oh, Kaliko caught up.
He got cut off.
He caught whatever
It would
has.
It would be meaningless for him to have that title.
I mean, the only reason
It'd be sentimental, and that's about it.
If they're gonna give Cena any title,
It would be to break the record.
yep.
Like, the record means more than the title, the IC title.
I get that. I don't. The only reason I see they give him the Intercontinental is because he's never held it before.
But, I mean, the only reason you would give it to him is to give him a run and lose it eventually.
But then you would have to put Sheamus in the match, or you'd have to have Cena lose it to Sheamus.
Why Sheamus?
Because Sheamus has never held it either.
That would be true.
Yeah.
And what a great callback that would be to Sheamus's first title reign.
Yeah.
Beating John Cena, yeah.
Okay. So maybe.
But then again, if Cena's last match is with Sheamus, Cena was going to end up in AEW. So.
Come on. Alright. I think that will conclude the news for this week. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.